This is real life that we're talking about. We're not talking about dingleberries and applesauce. It's real life.
And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that.
Just when it seemed like the Diddy chaos couldn't get any crazier, bam! 50 Cent jumps in with a wild claim, saying he might have actually saved Terrence Howard from getting pulled into Diddy's freaky world. But hold up, it gets even messier. Terrence is finally breaking his silence and calling out names. He's exposing how some big industry men never told Diddy no, and how they were more than ready to trade in their pride at those infamous FO parties. Terrence says he barely dodged the madness himself. And here's where things go off the rails. Diddy's team allegedly reached out to Terrence, asking him to be part of a docu-series. Did he accept? From what's being said, Terrence and 50 were actually planning to spill everything. Now the big question, who said yes to Diddy? Some huge names are being thrown around, and a few of your favorite rappers might be on that list. This story is spiraling fast. So does 50 Cent really have the receipts ready to drop in that docu-series and expose everyone who pulled up to Diddy's wild parties? And what really went down when Diddy allegedly tried to reel Terrence Howard into one of those scenes? Let's break this madness down.
I'm always right. It's like when I'm right, I'm right. And when I'm wrong, I could have been right. So I'm still right because I could have been wrong.
In case you missed it, Terrence Howard recently hit up the PBD podcast and gave one insane interview. He opened up about how some big names in the game straight up traded their integrity for access at those high-level industry parties. But then it got even deeper. Terrence didn't hold back, saying that exact kind of shady stuff is what went down at Diddy's parties too.
Do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy party.
He hinted that plenty of celebs didn't walk out the same way they walked in. And when host Patrick Bet David name-dropped Justin Bieber, suggesting he might have been caught up in Diddy's twisted world, Terrence didn't deny it. In fact, he backed it up, saying you can see how some of these stars are still carrying the weight of what went down. Whatever happened at those parties left marks, and not the kind that fade.
That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
But Terrence didn't stop there. He dropped a serious bomb. He claimed Diddy actually tried to make a move on him. According to Terrence, it started off innocent. Diddy hit him up, acting like he needed some help with his acting game. Then suddenly, Diddy switched it up and started showing interest in Terrence's music. That's when Terrence's assistant stepped in and warned him. Something felt off, real off.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f*** you.
But here's the kicker. Diddy wasn't the only one pulling shady moves. Terrence said he had run-ins with other major producers too, all of them throwing weird backdoor offers his way. Terrence made it clear he stood his ground. He wasn't about to sell himself out, no matter what the offer was. And because of that, he says he lost out on some huge Hollywood deals. He kept it real. And that came with a price.
You see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did No matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal.
The craziest part? Most celebs are staying dead silent like they've never even met Diddy. Except for a few bold ones like 50 Cent and Cat Williams, everyone else is acting like they don't know a thing. Right now, Terrence is the only major star who's openly said Diddy tried to get with him. That's a bold move, and people are watching. And speaking of 50 Cent, he recently shared more details about his upcoming documentary on Diddy. When asked why he's one of the few speaking out, he kept it real and said it's simple.
He do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social
No, he
media
did it.
talking
He did
about
it.
it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now, and then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
Now Tyrese is stepping into the convo too. He shared a clip from Terrence's interview on Instagram and captioned it with, "No comment. I'm staying positive. God help us all." Meanwhile, 50's version of staying positive is flipping this whole Diddy drama into fuel for his Netflix doc, which promises to expose everything. Now here's where things get extra petty. Word on the street is that 50 Cent has already reached out to Terrence Howard, asking if he'd be down to join his documentary and spill even more tea about how Diddy allegedly tried to pull him into one of those infamous FO sessions.
When I say 50 Cent is unmatched, he is unmatched. His pettiness goes beyond anybody that has ever been petty in the hemisphere of pettyism in this damn universe. Child, 50 Cent made a bidding war off of Diddy Do It. Diddy Do It was bought by Netflix, baby. So this docuseries will be out about everything that has happened since Cassie has filed this lawsuit against Diddy. Leave 50 Cent out of everything because this man's pettiness is beyond compare.
And honestly, it's not shocking that 50 wants Terrence to be part of the Did He Do It series. These two have history. 50's backed Terrence before, especially when he spoke out about getting scammed out of millions and getting blackballed by the big studios. They've both had their run-ins with Hollywood's darker side. Recently, Terrence has been raising his voice louder than ever, calling out inequality in the industry. But he says it ain't just about money, it's deeper. He believes there's a push in Hollywood to strip black men of their masculinity. He said he was labeled difficult just because he wouldn't take on roles that required him to wear a dress or play gay characters. He also reacted to Taraji P. Henson's claim about being underpaid in Hollywood as a black woman.